Boop, 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 boop. Okay, I think we're back. Okay, I think we're back. Okay, that's... Yay, you can see again. Alright, cool, cool. I am so sorry about that. I don't know why. Um, I don't know why that was happening. That one person just like showed up, followed, and then left. Uh, Space, do you want... Are you like here, or are you going back to lurking? I just want to know because I want to know if I need to... How much of a recap I need to do. How much of a recap do I need to do? Gonna be lurking again, just came to check up. Alright, thank you for checking up and realizing that I was like 10 minutes behind everything. My god. Why? Why did that happen? Okay, so... so I'm just gonna... So just so a recap of what is happening. We go into a battle. While Paxton stares at the fire, maybe? I don't... It's just the router's in the basement and I'm on the second floor. Do you know how much of a extender that would have to be to get to this room? That's 2 stories. Through a door. Through 2 doors. I don't know how router extenders work. I I think the last time I saw a router extender, it was an actual cable, and we literally had to throw it up to the second floor. And that was back when my dad's office was on the first floor. Now it's in the basement, so we have to go through 2 floors. So I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna work. So corporate buildings do that. Yeah, well, this isn't a corporate building now, is it? Yeah, it's a long. Do you know how long that cable would have to be? Alright. So, while Paxton was staring at the fire, he hears a twig snap, too late to stop the wolf from charging and biting into his arm. He yelps in surprise, but before he could do anything, another wolf has already strike the unknowing Logan, knocking him over as the wolf bites into his metal shoulder. The wolf on him continues to bite Paxton, pain flaring in his arm as blood runs down and coats the beast's teeth and fur. The second wolf tries to bite Logan, but he can't seem to break through his metal skin. Paxton tries uh whoop. Paxton tries to push the wolf off of him. But the beast's grip is too strong. Yo, you should really get out of there, it's dangerous. Gritting his teeth, Paxton shouts, Entangled! Weeds and vines sprout out of the ground, wrapping around the 2 wolves, freeing Patton and Logan from their grip. Patton takes a deep breath as he holds his bleeding arm. He squeezes his eyes closed for a moment before calling, Bo! Help! A transparent form of a bear comes out of Patton's body, a light blue aura surrounding Patton and Logan. Logan looks around, coming out of his rest. He sees Paxton injured and reaches out, grabbing his arm. His lights brighten as he whispers under his breath, Omar, heal this gentle soul. Cure wounds. The bite mark seals up as the pain washes away from Patton's body. Paxton smiles. Thanks, Lo. Logan nods his head. The wolves howl and growl as they fight against the vines. The wolf closest to Logan bites through his vines and is freed. It pounces at Logan again, but now he's more prepared and shoves the wolf off. Paxton holds out his hand. Okay, Thomas, let's do this. A flea hops out of Paxton's hair and lands in his hand. Paxton covers the flea for a moment. Infestation. He opens his hand, and a cloud of mites, fleas, and ticks erupt and attack the wolf next to Logan. The wolf swipes at the parasites, running to the west away from Logan. Paxton looks down at Thomas, the starting flea in his hand. Good job. Thomas hops back into Paxton's hair. Logan glances at the tent uh, where I think I'm spelling her name wrong here. Ramona is sleeping inside. How is she still asleep? Ramona is the heaviest sleeper I have ever met. Barely anything wakes her up. Also, don't wake her up. She'll kill them. Logan looks at Paxton, a little puzzled. These dire wolves are trying to kill us. And then this is where I got as far as I got. So let me finish this up. I was trying to spell dispersed. I don't know how to spell dispersed. How do you spell dispersed? Okay, there we go. Just had to ask Siri. Okay, so the cloud of parasites dispersed. You know what? The wolf growls at the pair. God, I have so many things open. Close that. Okay, so it's now Patton's turn. Patton is going to try to intimidate the wolves again. $21. Let's go. Uh, Patton. Patton leans forward. He growls. Almost. Not almost. Identical. Identical to the wolves. Oops. Leave. The freed the free wolf cowers against oop I wrote Patton instead of Paxton. Uh the free wolf cowers against Paxton's presence and runs back into the woods. Forest. The wolf still entangled in vines. Whimpers and tucks its tail. Finally giving in to defeat. Just gonna real quick check to see the delay. It runs back into the forest. Wow. The wolf. The visuals are not catching up. Still entangled in the vines. Why is this happening? Whimpers tucks its tail. Wow, the visual side is very late. That's so weird. I wish there was something I could do, but it says my encoder is overloaded. Consider turning down the video settings or using a faster encoder preset. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to fix that. I genuinely don't know what that means. I'm not a tech person. I don't know what an encoder is. Uh, okay, encoder settings. I don't want to touch them because I don't know what they do. And it's gonna be a bit before anyone like tries to give me an answer. Doesn't have time to watch my stream, but has time to send Instagram posts on Discord. Here, I'm gonna take text space. It says my encoding is overloaded. What does that mean? Alright, I'm gonna wait for that. Okay, so okay, so the furry wolf cowers against Paxton's presence and runs back into the forest. The wolf, still entangled in the vines, whimpers and tucks its tail, finally giving into defeat. Paxton walks up to the wolf and continues to growl at it. Logan tilts his head. Let me check something. Oh, does he not have that spell? Apparently, he does not. That's a shame, because that would have been a really good spell to have. He gets tongues, but we're not at a level. That wouldn't even work in this situation. And he's not even at the level to be able to cast that. Okay. Never mind. Logan has no idea what's happening. It looks like Paxton is talking to the wolf. Why did you attack us? You're in our... You're in our territory. You don't belong here. Paxton crosses his arms. You could have just said so. We will be gone in the morning. Promise. Okay. Let's that is a persuasion check. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, that's Logan. I was like, why? Okay, persuasion. 10. My god, Batten! The wolf growls again. Okay. Okay, the wolf is still entangled in vines, whimpers, and tucks his tail, finally giving it to defeat. Paxton walks over to the wolf and continues to growl at it. Logan tilts his head. It seems like Patton is talking to the wolf. Why did you attack us? You're in our territory. You don't belong here. Paxton crosses his arms. You could have just said so. We'll be gone in the morning, promise. The wolf growls again. No need to be snippy. You attacked us. We mean we mean no harm. We're just passing through. Okay. Paxton relaxes and waves his hand. The vines let go of the wolf and die out. The wolf runs back into the woods, into the forest. Remember that you can ask questions whenever, and I will add them to the story whenever it becomes appropriate to. Or you could just interrupt a conversation. It depends. It's just to make sure that I'm actually getting story written, I'm just keep going. Like, for example, back up here, I have a space where if you guys wanted to ask more questions, you could have. But I think at this point, we've kind of passed that part, so we're just gonna do this. Ugh. Sometimes I wonder why I try to do things that involve chat when I have no chat. uh, I'm not there yet. I don't even have like 5 people watching me right now. Yeah, I have one who is amazing, and I love you so much. And Space is just lurking. And then there's someone called Lime Time Pop that that's probably just a bot. Okay. So let's keep going. Uh, Jackson puts his hands on his hips and smiles at Logan. See? No one needed to die. It was all a uh, misunderstanding. We were in their territory. Logan slowly nods as he pulls out a notebook. He lifts his finger up. The end of his finger uh, bends backwards and pops open, revealing the head of a pin. Why are you nodding? Where are you at? Sometimes I wonder why I try to do things that involve chat when I have no chat. uh, I'm not there yet. Yeah, I have one who's amazing. I love him so much. And bad timing. Is, yeah, bad timing. I guess. I mean, it's a Saturday, so I don't know. It is what it is. I'm still happy that I'm at least um getting something on the page. We've written 9 pages. Yeah, like we're up to like 9 pages, and how many words? Only like almost 2,000 words. So I am still happy that I'm like getting this done. It's just I guess what I was imagining in my head does require a lot more people to work the way that I wanted it to. Okay, so Logan slowly nods as he pulls out his notebook. He lifts his finger up. He lifts his finger up. The end of his finger bends backwards and pops open to reveal the head of a pen. He starts writing in his notebook. Paxton blinks, his tail wagging back and forth. Whoa! You have a pin in your finger? Logan nods. Or no, that's boring. Uh, yes. It's so I can reliably take notes on what I've observed. Observe. What are you writing about? you from my analysis. I know that I'm spelling that wrong. Is that an actual word? How do you spell analysis? Analysis of your abilities. You seem to be a druid. Is that correct? Paxton beams. Yeah. Well, druid in training. Logan smiles slightly, proud of himself for being right. Oh, I forgot about the bear thing. Um, let me find a... The spect... The spectral bear disappears along with the blue glow around Paxton and Logan. There we go. And what of the spectral bear that came out of you? Paxton sits on the log. Crossing his legs. His tail smacks into the ground with a thud. Ow. Okay. So, okay, so I I trained in the circle of the shepherd. Do I still have that information up? Yes, I do. Okay. We communicate with the spirits of nature. That was Bo, my bear spirit. I also have uh uh I also have, what's a name for a hawk? Um what is the gives you keen sight. When a creature makes an attack roll against a target in the spirit area, you can use your reaction to gain advantage on the attack roll. In addition, your allies have advantage on wisdom perception checks. I also have Spot, my hawk spirit, and I need one for the unicorn. What does the unicorn do? The unicorn spirit lends a protection to those nearby when you and your allies gain advantage. You and your allies gain advantage on all ability checks make to detect creatures. In addition, you if you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores HP to any creature inside or outside the aura, each creature of your choice in the aura also regains hit points. Don't you know, don't you see me, wanting with nobody. The unicorn that heals. So I have bow, spot, and unicorn. Pop, pop. The unicorn spirit. Uh, unicorn. I don't know. Uni. How do you spell uni? Uni. My unicorn spirit. How is it that I spell spirit right 2 times and then mess it up on the last time? What do these spirits do? Well, bow increases our strength and gives us a protective aura, a protective shield against attacks. But after so many attacks, it breaks. That's how I'm explaining temp tip HP. Spot helps us see things. And uni, how do I explain uni? How do I spell uni? Okay, so yeah, that's just uni. Okay, so how do I explain? Close that. Uh, Advantage on ability checks made to detect creatures. Okay, so spot. Okay, so uni helps us find creatures and increases healing magic. Spot helps us Okay, so that's how I'm explaining advantage. Logan writes everything in his notebook. Intrigued by the information. Did I seriously spelled intrigued right? Go me. Okay. He's always had a fascination with spirits. So it's nice to talk to someone who can connect with them. How do you summon them? Jackson thinks for a moment on how to explain it. Well, in our training, we find them and bond to them. So when we need them, we connect and our bodies are used as like a portal for them to come out of. Using our energy to form. Because of this, I can only summon them once before I need to recover my strength. That makes sense. A summon like that would be tolling on you. Okay. Let's take a moment to read this back again. Logan slowly nods as he pulls out his notebook. He lifts his finger up, the end of his finger bent backwards and pops open, revealing the head of a pen. He starts writing in his notebook. Paxton blinks, his tail wagging back and forth. Whoa, you have a pen in your finger? Yes, it is so I can reliably take notes on what I've observed. What are you writing about? You. From my analysis of your abilities, you seem to be a druid, is that correct? Paxton beams. Yeah! Well, druid in training. Logan smiles slightly, proud of himself for being right. And what is the spectral bear that came out of you? Patton sits on a log, crossing his legs. His tail smacks into the ground with a thud. Ow. Okay, so I trained in the circle of the druids, of the shepherds. We communicate with spirits of nature. That was Bo, my bear spirit. I also have Spot, my hawk spirit, and Uni, my unicorn spirit. What do these spirits do? Well, Bo increases our strength and gives us a protective shield against attacks. But after so many attacks, it breaks. But after so much damage, it breaks. Spot helps us find the best place to hit people, and Uni helps us find creatures and increase healing magic. Logan writes everything in his notebook, intrigued by the information. He's always had a fascination with spirits, so it's nice to talk to someone who can connect with them. How do you summon them? Paxton thinks for a moment on how to explain it. Well, in our training, we find them and bond to them. So when we need them, we connect, and our bodies are used like a portal for them to come out of, using our energy to form. Because of this, I can only summon them once before I need to recover my strength. That makes sense. A summon like that would be tolling on you. Uh, okay. I'm gonna hit the save button real quick. There we go, saved. Alright, we've hit 2,283 words. And we've made it to chapter 10. Not chapter 10. God. Uh, page 10. Trying to think. Let's have Patton ask a question. So what about you? You healed my arm. Are you like a cleric? Logan nods as he closes his notebook. Of Opmar. My objective is to is to document. That's the wrong word. Fascinating. Okay. Uh. So what about you? You healed my arm. Are you like a cleric? Logan nods as he closes his notebook. Yes, I was raised in the Temple of Omar. My objective is to document the world and report it back to my temple for the records, so future generations can learn from our past discoveries. That's cool. Logan smiles. It is. Oh, smiles. His eyes glowing brighter. Enjoy. It is. The world is fascinating and full of wonder. Unknown and I don't believe so. Sure, I don't believe so. Sure, the world is big, as you say. But what I admire is how much when I am still wrong? How do you spell admire? Ah, I forgot the D. Uh, but what I admire is how much. How do I phrase this? What I admire is how big of an impact such a small creature can make. Sure, we are small in the grand scheme of things. No, you're fine. How far behind are you? Okay, you're not that far behind. Uh sure, we are small in the grand scheme of things. But you would be surprise the power one man can have to change the flow of everything. Paxton puts his arms on his knees and rests his head on the palms of his hands. You really think so? I do. I wouldn't have said it otherwise. Paxton giggles. I like you. I am glad as well. Otherwise, how do I spell Baxilus again? One. Why did you just write one? Are you just like testing something? Are you testing how far behind you guys are? Alright, let me check. Okay, you guys are too far behind. Okay, otherwise I would have been eaten by the basilisks. Okay. Yeah, it really makes us feel small, huh? I don't believe so. Sure, the world is big, as you say, but I admire but what I admire is how big of an impact such a small creature can make. Sure, we are small in the grand scheme of things, but you will be surprised the power one man can have to change the flow of everything. Paxton puts his arms on his uh let's say his elbows. Puts his elbows on his knees and rests his head on the palm of his hands. You really think so? I do. I wouldn't have said it otherwise. Paxton giggles. I like you. I'm glad we found you. I'm glad as well. Otherwise, I would have been eaten by the bacillus. Okay. Pattern. Uh, how do I spell yawn? I am blanking. How do I spell yawn? You're behind by 3 minutes. Yeah. How do you spell yawn? I am blanking. How do I spell yawn? How do I spell? How do I spell words? That's not it. God, it's hour all over again. Hello, welcome, Lika Bookstem. Here we go. Hello. Stream delay is bad. Sorry. It's gonna be a while. Big of an impact such a small creature can make. Sure, we are small in the grand scheme of things, but you will be surprised the power one man can have to change the flow of everything. Okay, so, okay, uh, I'm writing a story, and you can be a part of it by asking the characters questions. I'm spelling, uh, okay, Paxton. How do I spell yawn? Oh my god! Ah! I was just forgetting the end. I was right. I just needed the end. Ah! 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 Thank you. Give me give me 3 minutes. I figured it out. Thank you. Give me 3 minutes. I figured it out. Oh, yeah. I guess I know where you guys are now. Uh, all right. You okay with taking the rest of the... Yeah, you forgot about the delay, yeah. They're nuts. I can do that. Rest well, Paxton. Paxton stands up, gives Logan a hug, then enters the tent. Ramona sleeps on, snoring a little bit, unaware of the event that she just slept through. Paxton rolls his eyes playfully as he settles down to sleep for the next few hours. Okay, and I think that's pretty good for chapter 1. So here's what we're gonna do since we got a new person here. We're gonna let's read through chapter 1. Aleka book. If you have any questions you want to ask the characters, I will find a place to add that question in. Um, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, do not get distracted by music. Alright. We come into a view of the forest. The sun is just an hour or two from setting in the sky. Our traveling party of Paxton, a okay, so he's a 8 1 foot tall furbog with grayish blue skin, brown eyes, and dark red hair. His hair goes down to his mid back, some of it tied into a braid. He has a short beard and a lion like tail. He wears glasses made from walnut wood and a dull brown robe and sandals. He also likes to wear a lora. Then we have Princess Ramona Conjurer, a human with short twist brown hair, sparkling blue eyes, and a charming smile. She wears silver and blue scale mail armor, any armor, the armor of any pseudolite, and a long blue cloak of protection, a magical item that helps protect her from danger. She also has a pair of moonstone earrings and a metal headband with a moonstone, a symbol of her royalty. With them is a new companion, Logan, a damaged silver metal man that they found a few hours prior. Standing at 6'9" tall, this man looks like he's been mauled. Scratches similar to scars on the normal body covers his middle one, with with the most intense ones on his face around a glowing blue gem attached to his forehead, almost like something was trying to claw the gem out of his head. He has two glowing lines going from his head and spreading throughout his form, showing the strange energy flowing through Logan's body. Paxton happily holds the robot's hand while they walk. Ro- Ramona walks ahead of the group, keeping an eye out for any dangers while they look for a place to camp for the night. As they walk, Paxton hears a voice in his head. Paxton, how many books can your backpack hold? Paxton looks at the sky while he thinks. Well, if my bag was empty, I imagine I would be able to hold a lot of books, but as it is, my bag is already full of other things. Besides, I don't own a lot of books. I'm not much of a reader. Logan looks at Paxton. Who are you talking to? Paxton looks down at Logan. Uh, Logan being 2 feet shorter than the giant. Oh, you don't know about the whispers? Logan thinks for a moment, his blue gem-like eyes glowing brighter. Then he nods his head. Ah, yes, I remember now. The supernatural phenomenon known as whispers. I too have the ability to hear them to some extent. Paxton smiles. Oh, cool. Logan hears a voice in his head. A whisper. Logan, how old are you? I'm 27 years old. Paxton gasps. Aw, you're just a baby. I am not a baby. I have the maturity of an adult. Nope, it's official. You're my kiddo now. Paxton pulls Logan into a hug, his tail wagging back and forth. Logan struggles against the tight grip of the friendly giant. Put me down. Uh, Ramona glances back at them. Paxton, that thing can't be your kiddo. Paxton puts Logan down as he puts his hands on his hips. Now you listen here, Princess Ramona of Condria. Logan here is our new friend, and we treat friends with respect. He is a person, not an it. He blinks before he looks at Logan. Unless it is your pronouns. Logan shakes his head. I was not designed with set pronouns, as pronouns are not necessary to my function or objective. With that being said, I am fine with either he, him, or they, them pronouns, though I don't really care either way. Paxton nods. Got it. So we treat him with respect, Ramona. Ramona gestures at the robot man. He's not even wearing clothes! He's indecent! Logan sighs. We have been over this. I do not require clothes to complete my objective, nor do I have anything to hide. He gestures to his body, where he lacks the genitalia people typically cover up. The only piece of clothing on his body is a belt covered in pouches that help store small items or tools he finds. The rest of his things fits in the backpack he wears on his back. It's still weird, Ramona stresses. Paxton huffs and crosses his arms, clearly annoyed by Ramona's behavior towards Logan. They, they walk in silence until they come to a clearing in the woods. This looks big enough for camp, Ramona decides. Paxton walks off to find sticks so they can start a fire. Ramona works on setting up the tent. He glances at the robot man, Logan's head twitching slightly as his eyes flash. Are you good? Sushi stops, and Logan snaps out of whatever that was. I am all right. I'll be better once we get to Johnville. Ramona hums. Well, this tent only holds 2 people. That is all right. I do not mind staying outside. I do not require sleep. Of course you don't. Logan receives another whisper. Are you waterproof, or what keeps you from rusting? I do not rust like other metals. My body was formed in a way that better protects me from the elements. With that being said, I am extremely heavy and thus incapable of swimming. You're incapable of swimming? Can't you learn? I, as you say, sink like a rock. It is not a lack of knowing the body motions required to swim and keep afloat. I am just too heavy for those methods to be efficient. I would it would be the same as anyone who was wearing heavy armor would have a difficult time swimming against the weight on them. I guess that makes sense. I didn't think about it like that. Paxton comes back with an armful of sticks. He sets up a campfire and lights it with his tinker box. He smiles as he sits down on the log. His head rests on his knees as he stares at the fire, his tail wagging back and forth with the movement of the flames. Logan watches Paxton curiously. Why are you staring at the fire so intently? Ramona finishes setting the temp up and looks over. She rolls her she rolls she rolls her eyes, used to this behavior. He has a thing for fire. He could stare at it like that for hours. It's just really pretty. The way it moves in the wind, the bright colors. How could you not look at it? Looking and staring are 2 different things. I swear you're gonna go blind staring at it. Paxton shrugs. Ramona's comments don't bother him. Ramona walks a distance away from Paxton and Logan, sitting down on the log as she looks up at the moon. Hey, Mom. It's me again. I had a crazy day. We wandered to a basilisk nest. I slayed the beast, of course. Paxton wasn't too happy about it. Paxton wasn't too happy about it. Ever the pacifist. But it was evil! And it turned out to be the right choice because we needed the gullet to make a cure to the purification. That's how we met Logan. I'm not sure about them. They're made out of metal. It's not natural. They're also damaged. I tried to heal them, but apparently we need to go to Johnsville to get them repaired. I know I'm supposed to be finding my brother so we can go on this epic quest and find father, but Paxton insists that we escort them back home. So, we're taking a detour, but I promise that once we're done with them, we'll get back on track. Paxton takes second watch as so that so Romana can rest. Logan sits on a log, not in a log, sits on a log, motionless. His glow is dim. Paxton wonders if he's alive since his chest doesn't move, but Logan explained that he doesn't need to breathe, and uh, and thus his chest doesn't move. Apparently, he only needs to rest for 6 hours. But he's not unconscious either. He can still see and hear everything. He just doesn't move or speak. Paxton doesn't fully understand, but he trusts Logan's judgment on himself. While Paxton stares at the fire, he hears a twig snap too late to stop the wolf from charging and biting into his arm. He yelps in surprise, but before he can do anything, another wolf has already struck the unknowing Logan, knocking him over as the wolf bites into his metal shoulder. The wolf, the wolf on him continues to bite Paxton, pain flaring up in his arm as blood runs down and coats the beast's teeth and fur. The second wolf tries to bite Logan, but he can't seem to break his metal skin. Paxton tries to push the wolf off of him, but the beast's grip is too strong. Yo, you should really get out of here. It's dangerous. Gritting his teeth, Paxton shouts, Entangled! Weeds and vines sprout out of the ground, wrapping around the 2 wolves, freeing Paxton and Logan from their grip. Paxton takes a deep breath as he holds his bleeding arm. He squeezes his eyes shut for a moment before calling out, Bo! Help! A transparent form of a bear comes out of Paxton's body. A light blue aura surrounds Paxton and Logan. Logan looks around, coming out of his rest. He sees Paxton injured and reaches out, grabbing his arm. His light, his he lights his lights brighten as he whispers under his breath, "Omar, heal this gentle soul. Cure wounds." The bite mark seals up as the pain washes away from Patton's body. Patton smiles. "Thanks, Lo." Logan nods his head. The wolf howls and growls as they fight against the vines. The wolf closest to Logan bites through his vines and is freed. It bounces at Logan again, but now he's more prepared and shoves the wolf off. Paxton holds out his hand. "Okay, Thomas, let's do this." A flea hops out of Paxton's fur and hair and lands in his hand. Paxton covers the flea for a moment. Infestation. He opens his hand, and the cloud of mites, fleas, and ticks erupts from his hand, erupts and attacks the wolf next to Logan. The wolf swipes at the parasites, running to the west, away from Logan. Paxton looks down at Thomas, the starting flea in his hand. "Good job." Thomas hops back into Paxton's hair. Logan glances to the tent where Ramona is sleeping. How is she still asleep? Ramona is the heaviest sleeper I have ever met. Barely anything wakes her up. Also, don't wake her up. She'll kill them. Logan looks at Paxton, a little puzzled. These dire wolves are trying to kill us. The cloud of parasites disperse, the wolf growling at the pair. Paxton leans forward. He growls identical to the wolves. "Leave!" The freed wolf cowers against Paxton's presence and runs back into the forest. The wolf, still entangled in vines, whimpers and tucks his tail, finally giving into defeat. Paxton walks up to the wolf and continues to growl at it. Logan tilts his head. It looks like Paxton is talking to the wolves. "Why did you attack us? You're in our territory. You don't belong here." Paxton crosses his arms. "You could have just said so. We'll be gone in the morning, promise." The wolf growls again. Paxton sighs. "No need to be snippy. You attacked us. We mean you no harm. We're just passing through." The wolf huffs. "Fine." Paxton relaxes and waves his hand. The vines let go of the wolf and die out. The wolf runs back into the forest. The spectral bear disappears, along with the blue glow around Paxton and Logan. Paxton puts his hands on his hips and smiles at Logan. "See? No one needed to die. It was just a misunderstanding." Is it Miss with one S or two S's? I think it's one S. We were in their territory. Logan slowly nods as he pulls out his notebook. He lifts his finger up. The end of his finger bends backwards and pops open to reveal the head of a pen. He starts to write in his notebook. Paxton blinks, his tail wagging back and forth. "Whoa, you have a pen in your finger?" "Yes, it is so I can reliably take notes on what I've observed." "What are you writing about?" "You. From my analysis of your abilities, you seem to be a druid. Is that correct?" Paxton beams. "Yeah! Well, a druid in training." Logan smiles slightly, proud of himself for being right. "And what was the spectral bear that came out of you?" Paxton sits on the log, crossing his legs, his tail smacking into the ground with a thud. "Ow! Okay, so I trained in the Circle of the Shepherd. We communicate with the spirits of nature. That was Bo, my bear spirit. I also have Spot, my hawk spirit, and Uni, my unicorn spirit." "What do these spirits do?" "Well, Bo increases our strength and gives us a protective shield against attacks. But after so much damage, it breaks. Spot helps us find the best place to hit people, and Uni helps us find creatures and increase healing magic." Logan writes everything in his notebook, intrigued by the information. He's he's always he's always had a fascination with spirits, so it's nice to talk to someone who can connect with them. "How do you summon them?" Paxton thinks for a moment on how to explain it. "Well, in our training, we find them and bond to them. So when we need them, we connect, and our bodies are used like a portal for them to come out of, using our energy to form. Because of this, I can only summon them once before I need to recover my strength, and only for a minute or so." "That makes sense. A summoning like that would be totally on you." "So what about you? You healed my arm. Are you like a cleric?" Logan nods as he closes his book. "Yes, I was raised in the Temple of Omar. My objective is to document the world and report it back to my temple for recording, so future generations can learn from our past discoveries." "That's cool." Logan smiles, his eyes glowing brighter in joy. "It is. The world is fascinating and full of wonder. So much is unknown and a mystery. Yeah, it really makes you feel small, huh? I don't believe so. Sure, the world is big, as you say, but I admire how big of an impact such a small creature can make. Sure, we are small in the grand scheme of things, but you would be surprised in the power one man can have to change the flow of everything. Paxton puts his elbows on his knees and rests his head in the palm of his hands. You really think so? I do. I wouldn't have said it otherwise. Paxton giggles. I like you. I'm glad we found you. I'm glad as well, otherwise I would have been eaten by the basilisk. Paxton yawns. All right, I'm heading to bed. You okay with taking the rest of the watch? Logan nods. I can do that. Rest well, Paxton. Paxton stands up, giving Logan a hug, and then entering the tent. Ramona sleeps on, snoring a little bit, unaware to the events that she slept through. Paxton rolls his eyes playfully and lays down to sleep for the next few hours. And save. All right. So let's see, how far behind are you guys? And Uni helps us find creatures that increase healing magic. Loki writes everything in his notebook. Intrigued? Okay. So I'm gonna wait until we hit the end of me reading this out, and then I'll probably end the stream there so I can have food and whatnot. So I'm just gonna move over to the just chatting screen, and I'm gonna just watch this for a minute. Using our energy to form. Because of this, I can only summon them once before I need to recover my strength, and only for a minute or so. That makes sense. A summoning like that would be tolling on you. So, what about you? Let me see if I can find someone to, Logan nods as he closes his book. Yes, I was raised in the Temple of Omar. My objective is to document the world and report it back to my temple for recording. So future generations. So let me see if I can find anyone to raid. For our past discoveries. That's cool. Logan smiles, his eyes glowing brighter in joy. It is. Okay, that person's gone again. The world is fascinating, full of wonder. So much is unknown and a mystery. Yeah, it really makes you feel small, huh? I don't believe so. Sure, the world. Okay. Everything's taking. I would have said that. Everything's taking way too long to load and whatnot, so we're just gonna end stream here.